Hello everyone and welcome back to Conquest, where today we are going after Evene. A little bit of information about Evene. First of all, the lore says that this is the last active unit factory, I believe, and that is coming from, I believe, Factory Unit 0047. That is where we discover that. And another thing about Evene, supposedly it is getting reworked soon. I finally got around to join the Asthosus official Discord, which, by the way, no one believed it was me, so that was pretty funny. But anyways, finally got around to this, and it looks like it is getting reworked. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway, because I know there is a bunch of sectors here that have been reworked since I've captured them. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the old Evene right now, and then we are going to dedicate an episode later down the line to just capture all of the sectors that have been reworked. I think we're just going to do that all in one episode, though, because if I dedicate an episode to every single sector that got reworked, I am never going to complete this planet. So I think, yep, one episode, all the sectors. I don't know which ones I have and haven't captured, so I'm going to have to figure that out. So if you know which ones have been reworked since I've captured them, feel free to leave a comment. But anyways, today is Evene. This sector resembles a rift. The enemy has entrenched and built a large base here. Utilize freight launchers to expand your production, create units, and take down the enemy base. And in typical fashion, I never have the resources that I need to actually launch here. We need to go grab some Cretite. There we go. Cretite acquired. Let's do this. And unfortunately, I was very zoomed in, so we did not get to see very much. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on here. Enemy mech assembly base will activate in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, we are on a timer, as expected. There is some... Oh my god. Okay, well, that's great. We got a huge death wall, basically right in front of us, and we're going to have to defend against that. Luckily, there's a chokehold right here, and even right here. So, we're definitely going to be setting that up. And, hey, look, Lignite, you know what that means. Singe! File number 9. Do not underestimate the enemy. Keep them contained. Exert full force plan if a true Mir core is spotted. Due to storage issues, the full document file cannot be retrieved. Bruh. Okay, well, apparently there's a big core, which I bet there will be. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the base and find it. We got a little Petra core right over here. We got a beefy defense with subtile fulmination, you know, the whole shebang here. So that's going to be interesting to take out. We also got an essence core right here. There's this guy. Hello. I think there's actually more than one in this pile here. Keep looking. We got more turrets, more stuff. We got large expansion tanks. We got another wall right here with some Cavalier this time. So, yep, that's going to be problematic. We're going to have to figure that out. Got some nice power schematics over here. Now, what's going on here? Is this a good schematic? I can't really tell. I'm not sure. Is mine better? Let me look. I think my schematic is better. Well, no, this one uses the large expansion tanks, which use obsidian. Oh, so this is like an obsidianless one. But, I mean, there is obsidian in the sector. Of course, we have to fight through waves and waves and waves of, you know, units and turrets to get here, but we could do it. So, you know what, we are going to steal this. Then again, the batteries are kind of useless, so I'm going to steal half of it. No obsidian free power. Perfect. All right, anyways, moving on. We've got the substratum core up there. We've got a really dense amount of buildings up here. Oh my god. And I thought my spaghetti was bad. To be fair, this is pretty organized. Okay, whatever. Anyways, another essence core down here, unit factories, lithium compactors. How do you even have this? Wait, can I make Crosium here? No, I can't. Anyways, keep looking up. It is just super dense over here, dude. Holy, what do you got logic screens down here for? Interesting. We'll have to come back and look at that later because I bet there's going to be something on those. But anyways, I think the last core is right up here. So I guess I could like try to build something. We can check how many cores there actually are. We got one here, the substratum there, this one, and that one. So 5 cores total, and that's not too bad. So I probably should start mining things now and actually, you know, get to work on this sector. Okay, I guess I could also check what we're starting out with. Oh, this is a freight launcher setup because we can access this area here. Got a whole bunch of lignite, a whole bunch of other resources that we definitely will be needing. Okay, cool. Looks like we got, yep, half an expansion tank here. We got some obsidian going here, and I believe this is literally just freight launching obsidian straight over here, which then goes into our core. Okay, that does make sense. Can I actually walk over here? I can, but it's very annoying. Okay, but that's good. At least I can, in fact, get over here. I think we should probably upgrade this because this is not very efficient right now, so let's do that. That'll be our first order of business, get more obsidian going. Okay, so we are making restoration projectors and launched over, and then we are also making obsidian walls, which get launched over, and then these get put into a deconstructor, which then, you know, obviously deconstructs it and puts it back into my core. Okay, that's actually not too bad. So let's just go ahead and first things first, defense. I'm actually going to start by building a defense for once. Literally never seen this before. Okay, and also the subtile do have a range to about here, so I believe our chokehold is going to be right here. And interestingly enough, we are not actually making any lithium, I believe, so we probably should do that before we build the defense. Okay, well, never mind. I guess we're not building defense off rip. Oh, and also, the only way to get sand is over here, and there's not a lot. Luckily, we can make a bunch of lithium right down here. And since we have obsidian being produced already, I'm going straight into crushers. And another thing we need to be careful of is it is pretty compact in here. There's not a lot of space to work with, so we need to be very careful about where things go. That should be a solid 4 per second, and that is a pretty compact setup as well. All right, cool. Next up, let's get some lodestone while we wait for lithium to build up, and then we can get that defense in that I was talking about. And here's an interesting thing. Lodestone basins, we can build these straight up. So I think we're going to. Let's go ahead and put down 3 of them, because I believe that would be a good amount to use. And also, that is the perfect amount for 3 Fahrenheit crushers. Okay, and in typical fashion, I ran out of lodestone while I'm actually trying to build this thing. But the real question is there even enough hardened sand up here to actually do this? We need 9 total, and we also need to access water. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Boom. Sand compactor. We may need to use this. Let's find out. Okay, let's just do some thinking. So, lodestone basin, this outputs 2 sand per second. A sand compactor takes in 6 sand per second and outputs 4. So we already theoretically have 4 hardened sand per second. So we only need to get 5. That's not too bad. Okay, that's going to be a lot better. Maybe that's why this is out of the game, specifically for this sector. And yeah, we need lodestone for basically everything. So we're going to have to build another freight launcher, which also takes lodestone, so we're gonna have to cannibalize this one instead. Okay, well, this is gonna be fun. I feel like I've already goofed this sector up, but we're gonna keep going anyway, just because. So, let's find out. So we're gonna have to technically cut off obsidian for a little bit, or... no, we can't do that. Oh, yes we can. We could also do something extremely stupid and literally just set up a couple of drills, like, right here, and then get a tiny little bit of lodestone going over here so we can build the rest of the good factory over there. Oh my god, what am I doing, dude? This is such a bad idea. Okay, well, that'll do for a little bit. Now we just gotta go figure out how to get a freight launcher set up. I've never actually set one of these up, so yeah, let's probably go ahead and do that. All right, so freight launcher, let's see. It inputs pressure, takes power, and it has a decent range of 60-ish blocks. Let's move it down here, and then we can put another one here. And that can also load into this deconstructor, which does need more power, but we'll deal with that later. Okay, well, there we go. Now we have at least one of the big ones going, so I can, you know, kind of take some extra lodestone from here, put it into our core, and speed things up just a little bit. This is going to be a little slow, but, I mean, it's better than literally having nothing. You know, I will say, there's one annoying thing about this sector, and it is climbing through this area, because, man, there's a lot of tiny little places you think you could go through, but you can't. Oh man, this is not a good setup. I need to probably rework this. We may have to disconnect power from the deconstructor. Oh, and these also take power? Oof, dude. Okay. We'll deal with that later. We don't have time. We're gonna die. Oh my god. Okay, here is to hoping that the elementary component assembler can make large lodestone walls. I'm pretty sure it can, right? Surely. Okay, we'll deal with that later. Again, let's just get this situated first. We are going to need to put down a sand compactor, which is just fantastic. This thing also takes lodestone. Man, lodestone is the silicon of this planet, man. I need so much of it, and I just never have it. 3 minutes left, and I barely even have lodestone up here. Yeah, this is not good. This takes pressure. We don't have pressure right now. Another milestone reached. We got our sand compactor up. Of course, we can't actually use it yet because we need to launch the actual lodestone to the other area, which I'm working on right now. Okay, but there we go. Lodestone should be headed into this constructor right here, get turned into walls. Right? Yep, very good. And it will go into here, which launches into there. This does not have any pressure, which we need to get. But luckily, I did just plug this in, and this only uses 3, so we can use the remaining pressure and put it into this line right here. All right, well, there we go. Now that should have pressure. It is shooting over the walls. This thing is extremely slow, so let's respawn to the core and try to get that kicked into gear a little faster. We are going to need some power, but luckily we have lignite right down here. I would like to try to put one of these pressure turbine expansion tank setups down here, but honestly, I don't know if we're going to be able to fit it. So we're going to try, though. Okay, well, I mean, kinda. I think I have enough space for this. No, I don't. We're going to have to clog up some of the lignite down here. But, I mean, to be fair, it's not like we were going to be able to use that anyway, so this still doesn't... This doesn't have pressure? Oh, my God. Well, we got a vent over here. You think we can get pressure over here? Oh, my God, it's so compacted here, man. Oh, claustrophobia moment, the sector. Oh. Well, we got a vent here. I mean... Yeah. Ah, the enemies are here. Great! Okay, there we go. I think we're back in business. These are deconstructing fairly quickly. They're going into all these output lines. We could also speed this up by simply doing this, which I am going to do now that we actually have some lodestone available. Perfect. This is all built. Everything is getting deconstructed. This is out of pressure. Absolutely no surprises there. So now everything goes everywhere, and everything should be everywhere-ing everywhere. Probably. What are we dealing with now? I have no idea. This should be kicking into gear. It should be fine. We probably should go upgrade that. And can I sneak over here this way? I can. I do get shot by the subtile, but I barely survive, and that is a lot faster than trying to traverse over this. Now, real question is, do we even have the throughput for this? Probably not. Do I care? No. Okay, there we go. Perfect. 3 of these going. Those should all be running. This is going to make us 12 per second. Okay, yeah, we definitely do not have the throughput for that. Don't care. I don't care at all. So, we're going to take this out now. We no longer need this. And then we are going to simply do something like this. Yep, 1 block gap. Hope you like walking through that, enemies. And then we are going to simply line the entire thing with singes and menders. We probably need menders. Here we go. That should be a pretty solid defense. That's not going to hold up at all because I haven't plugged anything into power. Well, you know, you can't win them all. I really just do not have the ability to, you know, deal with this right now. I just need to make sure we're not dead. Here come the first units. I think we should be okay. We, of course, need to get power over here ASAP. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a couple more lignite drills, run power off of them, or run the extra lignite out of here on an overflow. Actually, I think we're going to put an underflow right here. And then we can put down another one of those little expansion tank setups that we've got going kind of down here. That's going to be the best option. Will it fit? Just barely. That should be a pretty solid-ish defense for the time being. Now we get to focus on the even harder part of this sector, focusing on unit production and actually breaking through this wall. Now, how close can I build? No, dude. What? Okay, well, there goes my entire plan. We will not be using subtile to shoot out the wall. We are going to have to storm this with units. Oh, great! Okay, what and where? That's not good. How on earth are we gonna do this, dude? We have obsidian, though, so we might be able to make tier 3s, right? Cleaver takes barite. Protodon takes barite. Decredence takes barite. So we can only make tier 2s. How on earth are we going to get through a fulmination subtile spam with tier 2s? We are going to be here a very long time. And also, hover bays will activate in 7 minutes, so that's great. Okay, well, you know what I think we're going to do? We're just going to kind of go for it. I'm just going to make hovercraft. I have not made hovercraft yet. There is nothing that will kick my hovercraft back, so I think that's going to be our best bet. Which side of the wall do I want to take out first? I don't think it's going to matter because it is so tight in here that we are going to have to take out both sides. This way to get to the petrichor, and this way to advance through the sector. Okay, and also we really do not have a lot of space back here to do anything else. So this is going to be fun. Okay, let's go ahead and make some hovercraft. Okay, well, a little quick progress update here. I added a janky expansion tank right here, which gets more pressure into the system, which makes this work faster, so we're getting more resources. I was running out of Fahrenheit, of all things. The defense is holding up pretty strong. We've got support bays coming up in about 4 minutes. Well, it's actually 3 now. Also, unit production coming along pretty well. We are almost all the way done with completing this. We already have the walls. We have the missile auto forges, and all we need to do now is run obsidian up, which is what I'm doing right now. And then I discovered this. ERU0011 document file 4563. Production kicked in overdrive since the arrival of the foreign invader. Managed task Cretite and launch out needed materials from cores to redacted warhead facility. Interesting! So it looks like they were making some Cretite here, probably right here if I had to guess. And that gets sent over to a warhead building area, which I have a feeling has something to do with the lore. We will find out probably once we go to that sector though. Alright, well anyways, let's continue building this. We are very close to being done. All we really need to do is run this obsidian into there and then power this whole thing. Now that's going to be a bit fun because, well, obviously we are running out of space. We will be grabbing probably some lignite and we can put another power schematic over here. Yeah, power is really a problem here simply because of space. That is all. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. By some lucky stretch, we are able to fit this power schematic in right here. Unfortunately, we're putting this right on top of a vent, which is slightly unfortunate, but I think that is worth it. All right, now we just need to run power from here to here. Oh my god, dude. Is obsidian going into here? You can barely even see obsidian moving through pipes because it's the exact same color. But there we go. Obsidian is coming into here, and we should start building our terrains now. Another thing I would like to do, which obviously is completely impossible at this stage of the game, build more units, because where am I going to put them? I mean, I could maybe fit something in over here, but I mean, where's the resources going to come from? Where's the power going to come from? Where's literally everything going to come from? So I think we're just going to have to deal with it right now and wait around a little bit. Okay, well, I have discovered a new problem. We cannot get the terrains outside. They are currently stuck over here. Can you put units into freight launchers? I don't know. Oh no, oh no. Okay, good news. I went into a sandbox map real quick here, and you can, in fact, do this. I just need to figure out how to get these guys onto a conveyor or into the freight launcher. I'm not actually sure how to do this, so I guess that's the next step. Okay, well, I have figured out how to do it. So if I take control of these guys, and then I take control of the conveyor, it will put it onto the conveyor. Now, obviously, that is not automatic, so that is kind of problematic. I bet there is a way to do this with a logic chip, so let's go ahead and try that. Okay, there we go. So there is a simple logic chip that I can set up to do this. This isn't actually that difficult. The basis of it is you bind the unit, you move it to the payload, and you just hit pay enter. Now I need them to unlink after that happens. After a little bit of thinking, a little bit of tweaking, and a little bit of trying, I honestly have no idea how to do it. But I did just realize it doesn't really matter that much. This is a very simple logic chip to set up, and I'm launching them across somewhere they can't return to. So it probably won't be that big of a deal. So honestly, we're just going to use this and call it good from there. All right, there we go. Logic chip has been installed. Now let's see. Do you want to, in fact, go to there? Now, unfortunately, I don't think I will be able to control them without destroying the logic chip because they will technically still be linked. But then again, I guess we are about to find out. Anyways, let's get this plugged in. I believe a connect node will just do that for us. There we go. Okay, and they are currently stuck on things. Oh my god. All right, well, let's see what this one does when it gets built. One of them did just go in, though, which is good. And I believe that one literally just got stuck on that as well, which is just fantastic. Is there a unit pathfind option? Oh, there is. Yeah, let's do that. How about we go around? Oh, much better. All right, and then they will start climbing in and get launched over. And go out here. Nice. Okay, you know what? I'm pretty happy with this setup. Okay, well, now it is just a waiting game, as we do have our units. I'm probably just going to put them into sets of, like, maybe 3, like, boom, 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 and then we'll just send them all against the wall, and then they'll probably all instantly die. The wall will get fixed up by the restoration dome, and then it will be extremely sad. But honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen. This is probably going to be a... oh my god, I did not think about that. Yep, those guys can just walk over walls. Okay, we need to go fix this, and of course I have to traverse through this treacherous terrain. Oh my god. Thank you to these two, who just, like, didn't get, like, logic bound, and could just help fix that. Oh my god. Okay, well, let's get everything repaired, and let's get some defense over here, because you can barely see it, but we got a bunch of singes in here, and menders with power, so hopefully that situation that just happened will not happen again. Okay, anyways, it's waiting time. Alrighty, well, we have our full 16, so let's just go ahead and deconstruct the logic processor so we can unbind all the units, and then we can start getting them to where they need to be. Now, I have no idea how this push is going to work because I feel like we are going to get obliterated very quickly. These landmines won't hit me because these are in the air. Huh. So we might just want to run straight through the middle, we're probably all going to die at least the first 10, 15 times. But we can slowly start chipping away at some of the turrets. Cavalier, we're going to get obliterated. Fulmination, obliterated. Subtile, obliterated. But even if we destroy a power cable, that's still enough. As long as we are making progress, that is what matters. Because honestly, there really isn't any other choice than to shove your face against the wall so many times until the wall breaks. And that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, well, anyways. Grab all these guys. Whoa! Those are tier 3s. Oh my god. Are we going to die? Oh my god, we might die. Wow. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa, 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 dude. What? Those are super strong. Holy, dude. Bruh. They just waltzed right through that. There's nothing I can do about it either. Oh my god. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that either because the only thing that can prevent that from happening is Crosium, and that's banned here. So, what am I supposed to do about that? Oh my god! Go away! I'm trying to rebuild! Oh my... Dude, they know. They know. They sent a group of 5 of those, and they're like, oh yeah, this is time. It's time to push, fellas. We're gonna make it. Oh my god, dude, this is so bad. Okay, oh, are we good? Oh my god, how many of those did I lose? I don't care. Let me just rebuild this. Jesus, dude, we lost the entire defense! Yeah, absorbing lasers and conducting power. We don't have access to Crosium because it's banned. Brother, how do you defend that? Force field? Nah, it gets smoked so fast. Holy, dude. Okay, well, we're just gonna beat or rebuild the entire side of my defense. Luckily, we have the resources, but holy! Oh my god, there's Typhoon up here? We're gonna be here forever. Now that I've actually been here for like a slight bit of time, I completely understand why this one's getting reworked. This is really hard. We are going to have to put down a quick unit resynthesizer to fix them. Okay, yeah, honestly, what on earth are we going to do about that? How far up can I build? The subtiles don't even shoot it from there, so I think it might just be time to like thicken the wall to a stupid amount. Obviously, this is going to get destroyed over time, but I don't care. We're literally making lithium right here. Let's just put a fulmination down. Now, obviously, these aren't the greatest turret in the world, but they're better than, like, literally anything else that we have. Okay, so our units are all healed up, and I believe it's probably about time that we get them to push. Are they also waiting to make a huge push with the... Oh my god. Jesus, dude. We're gonna have to deal with that at some point. That's gonna be fun. I would really like to take this base out, because, like, if we put up a wall right here, we would have so much more room to work with. Resources are going to be a problem, but we could probably work on making some more units. As a matter of fact, the next resource area is all the way up here, which is basically at the end of the sector. So, yeah, that's not good. All right, well, let's get these guys into position and let's see what we can do. First attempt, we're going to split them into groups, and we're just all going to send them at this Cavalier and see what happens. I doubt we will survive very long, but even if we get inside just a tiny bit, that's good. Okay. We got absolutely obliterated, but we did get some of these mines out of here. Well, I guess now it is, again, a waiting game. Alrighty, well, we got another 16 units built up, so let's deconstruct the logic chip, or take control of the guys yet again, and let's get them outside. Yep, going for another push. I might try to push a corner this time, mostly because, you know, we got obliterated by everything else over here, so maybe we will want to push over on this side. Another thing that I did just remember, skips can bounce. I don't think they can bounce that far, though. I am going to try it, but if we can even consider poking a hole in this wall, we definitely need to try it. So why don't we just go ahead and do that first while we also fix this wall, because they have a real tendency to blow it up all the time. Ow. Let's see if we can, in fact, hit the wall from here. We can. Just barely, though, but we can hit it. And it honestly might be in my best interest to just sit here and poke the hole in the wall over here. But that sounds extremely boring, so instead I'm going to set up a logic controller to do it for me. There we go. Okay, so we got that going. It is shooting at the wall right here, hitting in between all 4 of these. Now, eventually this will hopefully go down. I don't know if the mender can mend faster than this can shoot. I hope not, but I don't know. And also, what are those guys doing? They're just kind of sitting there? Are they scouting? What's going on? What are y'all doing, fellas? I can see you back there. And I think the mender can actually keep up with this, which is not good. So we may want to add another one. Yeah, and now I can see some real damage happening. Perfect. Now, I did see that skips were kind of balanced, that the more bounces they do, the less damage the bullets do, which I guess that does make sense because this is kind of a pretty strong strategy. But man, this is super hard. And you know, we are also just sitting on 16 units, so maybe it is time we get them into position. Oh, and I think we got tier 3s inbound. No, those are tier 2s. Okay, we should be fine. Alright, so they just got obliterated by subtiles, so send them in. Okay. So that was way better. Yeah, let's just be doing that. Unfortunately, I did cut a hole in the wall, so the enemies are now going to go that way. But also, it isn't the end of the world because there isn't much over here anyway. It's not like they can walk over the wall here, so that's actually not the end of the world. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. But we did cut a hole in the wall now, which is good. So I think the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to march them all the way up here, and we are going to target this viaduct and blow up the subtiles. And then hopefully after that, we can literally just march all the way up, because I don't think the Fulmination have the speed to even attack us, and then we can go hit this core, start blowing up everything over here, and maybe even start cutting off ammo lines to the rest of the defense, so then we can slowly drain this out and get the core down, which would be great. So I guess now we are, again, waiting for more units to build up, defending the wall, rebuilding these, and just praying that those tier 3 healing guys don't come back and destroy the entire build again. Alrighty, we are back. There are 16 more of these guys. Let's go ahead and take them to the wall. Now, as discussed, we are going to try to run straight through all of this and hit the subtile or the viaduct. Let's do this. Honestly, you know what, fellas? Why don't you just go target that? And honestly, if you all die, I kind of saw it coming anyway. Okay, they got it. Go, 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 go. Get out of there, get out of there. Yes, we have made it. Let's go. Okay, now let's get rid of these turrets here. They are kind of destroying us right now. And we got a core down already. Perfect. What a push. Okay, I completely understand why everyone was saying to use the air units. I get it. They are quite strong. I really thought they were kind of weak. Do they have a lot of health? Let's check. So, the bayonet, another tier 2, obviously. These are the ones that I use all the time. 710 health, so that's not bad. Trigon at 710 as well. And the Terrays at 660. So they do have slightly less health. I think their defining feature is that they move really fast. 8.25 as compared to Bayonet's 3 and Trigon's 8.6. Wow, these things move fast too. Okay, well, never mind. I guess they're just good. What about their damage? 18 area damage with 4 tiles, 60 area damage with 4 tiles, fire rate 0.66 compared to 2.5 times 2. I guess, yeah, okay, so basically they do a lot of damage, they move fast, and they're not hit by landmines, which is, I guess, the defining feature. And they're small. That's another thing. These turrets are inaccurate. The Fulmination have a tendency to miss, and the subtile do as well. So if they are moving quick, the turrets will just not be able to hit them, and then we can run right by. And I think that is what actually happened in this scenario. And we are going to die here in 17 seconds. Hey, look at me! Don't look at that! Hey, you can't touch this. Oh, they touched this. Oh, it's tracking. Okay. Okay, well, there was only 2 of them, so luckily we survived. The remaining 4 are just chilling. Anyways, I guess what we're doing now? Waiting again. Okay, we may have a slight problem. The 3 big dudes that I really didn't want to attack me are now attacking the other side of the base. Luckily, they can't get over there, but it is going to affect the production capabilities, so I'm going to have to try to drag them over here. Look at them, they're just sitting there. They destroyed my entire power schematic. That was rude. Real-time strategy of just sitting behind somewhere and shooting it. Yep, that's a good strategy, to be fair. I do that all the time. But, oh, man, there we go. Finally. Jeez, now I gotta go rebuild the entire side over here. And look at all these guys waiting for me to do it. There we go. Got a couple of fulminations up here with some lithium. Very good. And, yeah, just making units again. You all know the drill. Okay, are we good? There does not look to be anyone pushing up in the near future. I think we'll be fine. It's always these 2 that shove themselves into each other and can't get out. What is your guys' deal? Let's get this moving. Go all the way up here. Actually, let's try to put them over here first so they don't get shot too much. Up here, all the way over here. Target this capsule. Win. Boom. Those shouldn't do too much to me. And target that. Yep, and that is down. And we still have a couple units left. They are getting knocked back by this D-pulse here, but ammo has been severed. So I think it's time to build some stuff. Alright, as you saw, the entire wall is now drained, minus, of course, these Cavalier right here. These will never get drained. And also over here, we've got a skip and 2 fulminations over here, and a couple skips right here that aren't actually out of bullets yet. Mostly because I couldn't actually reach over there. But anyways, All we have to do now, since we have these guys ready to go, is probably retreat them back inside because they got hit a lot, heal them up, and then we can send them over to start cleaning this out. All right, now I think what I'm going to do is, since these guys like to get shot, I'm going to put them up here, and then I'm going to spam build a bunch of Fahrenheit pipelines. So the, yeah, whatever those are, Cavalier will attack that instead of my units, and then hopefully they will be able to destroy it. Looks like that is exactly what happened. All right, well, I'm just going to leave these guys here and let them clean house. I would like to be able to, you know, build some more things up here, so I think letting them just attack is probably in our best interest. We've only lost 4 of them, so yeah, let's just let them shoot things. We'll gain access to more obsidian, we'll gain access to more land space, we'll gain access to a couple core tiles as well, which is always good to see. All right, here are the skips. Let's go ahead and take these out, because these are going to shoot at us, and next up, these fulmination as well. And that skip. And that should be everything. If we can take out these units here as well, hopefully we can buy us a little more time to shoot out enemy buildings. Looks like it has. All right, let's take this core out now. I believe we have the capabilities to do so. Who's going to win the 1v1? Who's going to win? Aww. Well, we got very, very close. Even a couple more units should be able to rid this place of the rest of its material. Because I'm going to build a little outpost over here. I don't know what I'm going to ammo it. Oh, that's what I'll ammo it with. Anyways, yeah, we'll build a little outpost over here just to have a little bit more space for units. And then we can push up here with 28 of them this time, which is great. Oh my god, we have to deal with this again. They definitely can make it over here, and that's really scary. Oh god, let's try to prevent that from happening. What can we put here? I'm gonna put a Cavalier down. Hey, stupid, come here. There we go. All right, 16 more of these guys are ready to go. Let's get them sent over. I am going to send them over here. We're going to destroy the rest of this and probably get rid of some of these walls as well so I can actually build something over here. Down you go. That literally took like 3-4 shots. That's just great. Okay, but yep, we'll just clean out the rest of this area. It also doesn't look like the lightning of the lithium walls can actually hit the air guys, which is another great reason to use the air guys. Terrays, they're called terrays. Looks like we lost more than half of our army to these guys, which is just fantastic. Yeah, that was bad. Well, luckily they are now gone. Anyways, I should be able to build over here now. Yeah, looks like I can. Perfect. Okay, let's get a quick little defense going over there. Some actual progress, finally. Took forever, but at least we're here. Oh, well, that's really annoying. I was over here building all this defense, and it was great, and then realized there's no core tile over here. This is a complete waste of time. Well, dang it! Unfortunately, the only other actual core tile location is right there, right in the middle of everything. So I think what we're gonna have to do is build a new wall up here. I mean, I kind of saw this one coming anyway, but if we build it like right along here, we should be able to ammo everything up with some obsidian, maybe even some lignite down here and down here. We will have access to a lot more land space, but not a lot of stuff that we can actually use. All right, well, I guess we're waiting again. Y'all know the drill. 16 more to raise, and we are going in. I believe we are just going to be clearing out the rest of this area. Perfect. And, yep, let's just go around and destroy most of the turrets. There is a deep pulse right there. That shouldn't be too much of a concern, although we are getting kind of shoved around pretty hard right now. As long as we get in here and blow up the rest of these, we should be good. Now, could these Shenong literally get a grip and go away? Please and thank you. Okay, well, we got most of the turrets destroyed, but we lost the majority of our forces to a bunch of their units that decided to show up and kill us all. We are now waiting again. Hey, look at that. 16 more terrays just magically showed up after I had to build them. We're going to be pushing straight up to this Cavalier from this side, hopefully, to destroy this pressure area over here. And then we will be going through the middle and straight up to destroy these fulmination and hopefully this D-pulse as well. And let's get rid of that D-pulse too so we can stop getting knocked back. Alright, let's just take some time to, you know, take the rest of this garbage out. Get rid of this guy. Hopefully the Shenong don't see me. Looks like they didn't. Let's just hide in the corner for a second and let everything go by. A lot of units coming in here, and I kind of don't really want them to figure out that I'm here. It looks like this guy knew. Oh, they all knew. Okay, never mind. Everyone knows. We gotta keep pushing then. Alright, let's just clear out the rest of this, and then it's time to push straight up here to these fulmination. Alright, let's do it. We are gonna get knocked back, and it's gonna be kind of annoying, but it's fine. It's fine. There we go. Okay, everything's gone. Everything's good. Let's blow up the rest of this. These guys are going to come here and start blowing stuff up. That's not good. Let's make sure that everyone dies. Now let's get rid of these depots, and that should be everything we need out of the way to build our wall. Of course, let's get rid of these walls as well. Oh, God. Okay. Yep, we got these guys coming in. Let's back up, and let's get these guys to go ahead and shoot these, because that's ridiculous. And in you go. They're all going to die so fast, but... yeah. Okay, we need to be ready for this. This is going to be interesting. Okay. And if I just distract them even just a little bit, that will still prevent them from destroying my wall. Okay, that was much better than the first time those showed up. Okay, good. Anyways, I suppose it's now about time that we build a huge wall up here so we can have some more units. Alright, well, I've got 60 more to quant here. I did try to build a defense, but as you can see, it's in shambles because the enemies kept showing up, they kept seeing it, and they kept going all the way around here and destroying it from the inside. I did not have enough time to build basically anything before they detected it and destroyed it. So instead, we're going to grab 16 of these guys and have them as bodyguards. Basic plan for this wall is going to be... obviously, you know, the standard funnel setup. The enemies will only be able to go down here, and then we'll have some depots back here and cavalier basically all throughout the area. Unfortunately, this is a very foresty obsidian biome, so there's a lot of trees everywhere, so that's kind of annoying, but, I mean, there's not much that I can do about it. So, hopefully, yeah, why don't you go attack these guys, please? My core unit's almost dead. That's not good. Once we get the lithium, I'm going to put down this solar panel schematic. It's got a little bit of battery power and should be able to support a couple of cavaliers in the meantime, which will be great for shooting the enemies that keep showing up. There we go. Look at that. That is much better. Now, unfortunately, there are some trees right there, so there ain't really much that I can do about this area, but we should be fine. Now we're going to have to build the other side, which is going to be the hard part. Alrighty, there we go. Finally got the defense in place. Thank you to Raze for tanking the enemies for, like, literally forever, and we got this in place. Basically, cavalier everywhere. We got some silicon tetrafluoride D-pulse all the way back here to prevent them from getting this far. Of course, we walled off the lava lake as well, because I have a feeling they would probably try to push right through it. They probably melt, but I feel like if they really wanted to, they could get through it. So we just defended it with some D-pulse. Alright, well, I think with all of this being now completed, we can begin production of more units by stripping the wall down here, because the units cannot get out currently, and that is kind of a problem. That should hopefully give us some more space to work with here, especially for the units here that really enjoy getting stuck. But anyways, I guess I could send the remaining 12 that I have here. Let's just send them up, see how well they can do against the wall. I doubt they'll get very far. They'll probably get sniped down immediately, but if they do even just a little bit of damage, that is better than nothing. And they did a little bit more than a little bit of damage. They got 3 lithium and half of a large obsidian down. So, not bad at all. Alright, well, now again, we are just building up more units, but I think this time, instead of exclusively doing this, I'm going to build some more over here using the decompression extractor. So, let me go ahead and do all that. Alright, well, we are back. I have ran into a new problem here. I originally said that I was going to use decompression extractors to get more resources to build more units so we could attack faster. Problem is, I threw in this Cretite decompression extractor hardened sand power generator, which, by the way, doesn't seem to be working because there's an issue with the water. We'll deal with this in a second. But there's not very many vents left, 3, 4, 5 total, and that'll give us about 2.5 Fahrenheit, 2.5 Dematite. That's really not enough to do anything with, so I think we're just going to kind of bite the bullet on that, and we're just going to wait a little bit longer for the hover assembly to, you know, work faster. Luckily, we have 36 unit capacity, so it's not like it's going to be the end of the world. We probably could get this done in like 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 pushes, but again, it's just going to be slightly annoying because it's going to take a little longer. Anyways, another thing, this schematic here, great schematic by the way, only issue is that I don't know where to put things. There's 2 message modules here that basically say, here is your Cretite from decompression, and here is your power attachment, but there isn't any, hey stupid, put the inputs here. Maybe it's because there's bridges everywhere, maybe it's because I'm too stubborn to turn on bridge opacity, but I still have no idea where to put anything. Alrighty, well, we have about 31, and honestly, I think that's probably going to be more than enough to get through the wall. Although maybe not, because there are a lot of Cavalier. Another thing that I did notice, by the way, when I'm sitting at my core right here, I'm getting a pretty solid 176 frames per second. But if we go up here to the enemy's factory over here, I'm getting 50. You know your factory's good when your frames are dropping. All right, well, we got how many of these? 30? Let's just kind of march them over. What is the worst that could happen, right? They get blown up? Well, that's going to happen anyways. I'm not really concerned about it. Okay, they got absolutely obliterated by these Cavalier. Luckily, they had this in the way and they were able to take care of it, but man, those things hurt. All right, well, I guess we're going to wait another 25 minutes for more units to show up. Alrighty, there we go. Got another 31 of these guys, and I figured out the reason why I couldn't figure out where the inputs go for the schematic. It's because I copied one that had been modified. I was looking up at the defense, and lo and behold, the exact same schematic that I've stolen, this time without the message modules. And if you can take a look right here, there is an aqueduct router. Now, on my schematic, I had a bridge there, which made things way more complicated. So it turns out I just copied the wrong schematic. So anyways, I merged this one, which has the message modules, and this one, which has the correct input slots, and then made a new schematic. So hopefully we will not have to deal with that again. So anyways, this is good. We have 31 units. Let's do this. Yep, and the Cavalier really are just destroying everything. But we punctured a hole through the wall right here, so next time we'll be able to run straight up and destroy everything. Alrighty, yet again, 32 more terrains ready to go. Now, as I am literally just sitting here basically doing nothing all the time, I just went ahead and looked around at the enemy base, you know, just to kind of see if there's anything cool in here, any cool schematics that I might want. I might even steal this one as a matter of fact, because, let's be honest, it is a pretty decent setup. I mean, there's not really much else you can do besides filtering like this, but I'm probably just going to steal that. We've already have this schematic, and there's not really too much else in here that I don't have already, except for this. Remember when I pointed out the logic screens earlier in the episode and I didn't know what it was? I think I figured it out. So I went ahead and just copied this, because you can see there's memory chips and logic chips in here. So the memory chips, obviously, you can't click on because they are written to by the logic chip, but just looking at the logic in here, it looks like you're setting the subtile as a radar, and when there is an enemy in there, it enables all of the projectors. So I have a feeling once we march our units up here, it's going to turn on a whole bunch of force fields. And that, I think, is a pretty cool thing. So we are definitely going to be watching for that when we go and invade this area. But for now, let's see if we can poke another hole in the wall. All right, now I've got an interesting strategy planned out this time. These 5 are going to go first. We're going to send them all basically at the same time, but these 5 are going to go up, they're going to get hit by the Cavalier, and then die. And then these other guys are going to show up right afterwards and hopefully destroy everything. So let's see what happens. Hopefully my plan will work, although I doubt it. You know what? It kind of did work. As long as we hit the Cavalier, that's all that really matters. You know what? I'll take it. We got a lot of progress. Alrighty, y'all know the drill. This time we got 36 of them. The only problem now is there's a bunch of these guys just kind of sitting up here stuck. So all we really need to do is, of course, go around, which hopefully we can do. Although I'm not sure. And I'm thinking I'm also just going to run in front of my units here with the force field guy, because this thing can take a decent amount of shots before the force field pops. So if I send in my guy first, that could take even just a little bit of damage away from these guys, we might be able to make it through. I am just going to have them go up here. The Fulmination's range won't even reach, so if we set them up here, or maybe even over here so they can start shooting the batteries, they won't even get shot at. So I think that's what we're going to do. So here we go. Take some bullets for them, and when I die, I can pause real quick and see what is happening. Are they going to make it? Yes, some of them did, and that's really what matters. 2 of them, as a matter of fact. That's not a whole lot. But now the entire nation's worth of units are now pushing my position. So hopefully they don't get all clogged up here so we can actually, you know, push through, but it looks like they are. So I have no idea how we're going to deal with this. Alrighty, we got 36 more terrains. I think this time, since we keep trying to run past the wall and it never works, why don't we just run up to here and then we go inwards and get rid of the rest of the turrets over here, or even, you know, cut off the ammo, which, now that I'm looking at it, I think we did cut off the ammo. The only issue is that this storage capsule probably is what supplies all these, But, like, I don't see anything going into here, so I think we actually got all the ammo. We just need to drain it now. Yeah, because this right here, the Typhoon, is definitely out of ammo. Oh man, if I knew that earlier, I would have been doing this a lot sooner. Oh, I walked through the fire again with the Silex core. Yep, I wonder why this happens. It's kind of funny, but it's curious, you know? Looks like it's just these 3 left. Perfect. We are about to make a huge push, you know? All things considered, we might even be able to just rinse through the rest of this place, right? Because this core right here is completely undefended. The closest defense is Fulminations up here, and of course the supposed shield protector thingy that we're about to see in action soon. We've got this core over here, which also looks undefended minus this single skip. And then we can literally just march all the way up this way, up, around, and straight to the last core, which, again, looks to be pretty undefended. So this might be the last push of the episode. I'm kind of hoping it is because we have been here a while. But before I do that, let me go ahead and save this schematic. We're going to save this as maybe red sand. That sounds like a pretty good name for it. And we will go ahead and test that out later, of course. Let's start marching through. Now, of course, the entire sector's worth of units are now swarming my position because they know exactly what I'm doing. But if we keep pushing, I don't think it's going to matter that much. Also, we should probably stop standing on explosive buildings because we are now down to 16 units because I keep blowing things up right on top of myself. But, you know, it's fine. Let's go ahead and get this core down. Boom. And we have officially lost our entire push just because of explosive buildings. Maybe I should back up a little bit. That would probably make sense. All right, we do not really need to be destroying all of this stuff, but we will need to be destroying all of these units that have kind of just sat here waiting for us. Yep, saw this one coming, and there are still more. Okay, dude. That is insane. Please shoot that one. That one's ridiculous. Go away. Thank you. Let's go ahead and hit the substratum. It's already gone. Try to avoid the explosive buildings, especially that pressure tank, and let's just start heading up. I'm gonna try to, you know, destroy the buildings before I move over them to try to avoid dying and maybe not step in the large fire. That would be great. Yep, that pressure thing just blew up. There's some subtile we should probably avoid, and the generator did turn on. Unfortunately, it looks like I've kind of cut power to the entire sector, so that did not last long at all, but at least that does work, so that's pretty cool. Yep, this is going to get cleaned out pretty quickly, and it looks like you can't actually go around this way. That's slightly inconvenient, but I kind of saw it coming, to be fair. So let's just go ahead and go this way. We are going to take some hits from the subtile, but honestly, we can probably just ignore it and run by because we have a decent amount of units. Okay, never mind. I walked into an explosive building and everything died. Typical. Very, very typical. I don't even know what was here that would explode so violently as to kill every single one of my units, but it did happen. Alright, well, since I just went ahead and drained these fulmination, I don't think there's literally anything else left that can attack me, so I'm just going to go march my way up with this single Therese and see what we can do. Yep, look at that. The force field detector is in fact working, and that is pretty cool. Huh, maybe I want to save that logic chip. You know what? I'm going to. Force field auto doer. Yep, works for me. Okay, there's a D-pulse, and we've got some catapults. We can go around this way. Maybe. There's more stuff down this way. I did not expect there to be so many small turrets kind of just embedded in the defense, but here we are. And that did not, in fact, not work, so I guess we will be building up a full 36 just to be spiteful. Go away, go away, go away, and goodbye to this sector. Sector captured. Thank goodness for that. Alright, there we go. Evene knocked out entirely. Now, I'm fairly certain this is literally going to be reworked by next week. So, you know what? Kind of happy that I did it before the rework, though, just to see what it was like. I think next episode we are probably going to go after D-Fringe. We could also do a magmatic riverbed, but I think if we go to D-Fringe, this is the next place where we learn something. Yep, we get to utilize a Vesmonium, so it's probably about time we made some real progress. We will probably end up doing the whole recapturing sectors episode, maybe a couple episodes from now. I'm not really sure when we're going to do that. We will have to wait and find out, but next episode we're doing D-Fringe. Probably should also give a review on the good old Evene here. I can understand why people don't like it. If we just take a look at the map here, You've got a little bit of obsidian in your starting area right here, and you've got this resources right here and this sand. This is realistically the only resources that you have available the entire time. Because just taking a look up here, this is the last 3 bases, and by the time you're pushing into here, it would be faster just to destroy this core than it would be to rebuild stuff here. So realistically, this is all you get. And of course, there's really only enough space and only enough resources in this area to make 1 unit factory. So you kind of just have to build up units, wait, attack, lose, build up units, wait, attack, lose. You know, it's a big cycle that just takes forever. So I understand why some people don't like it. It was an interesting challenge, though, because, you know, claustrophobic sectors, they always feel more stressful than they are, just because you don't have a lot of space. That's like, I guess that's another factor why some don't like it. I kind of like the claustrophobia, though, because it does add a little bit of challenge. Look at this. This is pretty messy. And I really did not need 3 lodestone basins. This is a big mistake on my part because this takes up a lot of space that I could have used for something else. Mostly because I can't actually transfer all of the lodestone over because we don't have enough freight launcher capacity for that. But you know what? Overall, it wasn't a terrible sector. I think it just needs a little bit more resources to work with. And then I think that would basically improve the entire thing. Well, there we go. Evene down. Next time, defringe. Honestly, I'm kind of excited to learn Vesmonian because, of course, new resources are always interesting. Goodbye.